and you shared that the Globalist Agenda is to depopulate the planet by over 90%. She'd like for you to talk about that and what's in it for them.
Well, I'm glad Jay-Z asked that question. For years, we tried not to use the G word, genocide, when we talked about what was going on because people couldn't hear us. Today, they can hear us, partly because we got tired of pussyfooting around what we were saying, and we said, well, screw it, we'll just say it. So people are thinking about it a little bit better, and other people are talking about it too. Everybody knows about the concept of a sustainable planet, right? Sustainable planet means blue skies, without chemtrails, green grass, clean water, the sheep lowing in the distance, right? Peace, serenity, cleanliness. And the World Health Organization, WHO, which you may or may not know, is a private corporation just like the Federal Reserve and receives more than 2/3 of its funding from the pharmaceutical industry. Not a minor fact. The World Health Organization, the United Nations, the United States government, the Club of Rome, the Illuminati, the Council on Foreign Relations, have all said, right, we have too many people in the world. Now, how many people here have bought into the population explosion business? I used to. I used to send money every month to zero population growth because I believed that there were too many people on the planet and we ought to do something about it. That's a hoax, like global warming. In fact, the organizations that I mentioned have stated in writing that in order to create a sustainable planet, a term that they've co-opted, we have to eliminate 90%, 90% of the world's population. That's a very interesting statement. Now, back to 2002. We had a patient, we had a very interesting medical practice before we closed it, and people from around the world would come to us hoping that we could do things that nobody else could do to help them, and generally we could. So we had a head of state who was our patient. No, it was not the Queen of England, and no, we will not tell you who it was because she deserves privacy too. So one day, this very pleasant, chatty lady said, you know, it's almost time for the Great Culling, C-U-L-L-I-N-G, the Great Culling to begin. I said, what? What are you talking about? She said, you know, the culling of the useless eaters. And I said, the what? Because I had heard of things like the Trilateral Commission and the Illuminati, but I had never heard the term useless eaters. I said, who are the useless eaters? She said, everyone who is consuming our non-renewable natural resources. And I said, always the splinter under the fingernail of the establishment, I said, did it ever occur to you that you are consuming the non-renewable resources of those people? And she said, no, I never thought about it like that. I said, well, think about it. She said, that's interesting, but I don't believe it. I said, well, who are you? She said, we are the neo-aristocrats. We are the people at the top of the pyramid. Around us will be our servants, and around them our technicians, and we only need 10% of the population. And I said to myself, this lady is truly bonkers. I don't care what throne she sits on, she's a nut job. And I went and did some research. And I discovered, yes, she is crazy, but so are all the people in her world who believe precisely the same thing. Since 1974, the World Health Organization, not your friend, the World Health Organization has had a commission to develop and deploy vaccinations to permanently end the fertility of the women who receive the vaccines. And they were convicted in the Philippines of involuntarily sterilizing more than 3 million women there. No one knows how many women they sterilized. In Africa, the smallpox eradication program involuntarily was designed in writing, and I have the documents, to, and I quote, eliminate 150 million excess sub-Saharan Africans. That's just one small part of it. The H1N1 vaccine with squalene, designed to create permanent, irreversible infertility, which is why pregnant women and children all over the world were supposed to get it first. This is real. This is ongoing. And this must not happen. Oh, but there... Thank you. And it's up to you, every single one of you. It's up to us to force them back, step by step, with knowledge, truth, and integrity. We decided, as I told you, that food and freedom were the places to use as fulcra, as lever arm points, and they are. But anyone who chooses to be passive on this issue is saying, I accept the genocide, and maybe I'll be lucky enough to be allowed to survive. And I say, no. We are the inheritors of this earth, and we have a place on it that is ours, and so does every other person. You know what the best way to eliminate population pressure and raise the life of a community, whether it's a Muslim or an animist or a Christian or a Hindu or a Jewish community, you know what the best way is that's been proven again and again? You educate women, and they control the life of the community. And what do you get? You get people making trouble like me, and like you, and you, and you. And that's right. So I just want to give you our website. There are two of them that you need to go to. One is healthfreedomusa.org, and the other is globalhealthfreedom.org. Become involved, become active, manifest. So thank you, Jay-Z, for asking that question.
Be a mouse warrior.
And become a mouse warrior. Ride that freedom mouse.
Thank you both. Thank you so much on behalf of Jay-Z and our fellow students for coming, for gracing our stage, and for bringing us your knowledge and wisdom.
One more thing. You don't need to sit down. You don't need to, it's not going to take long. okay? You are here